I was advised by the dentist of all dentists to use some of the crushed garlic and stuff it in the cavity, in my tooth cavity. What it does is it kills bacteria. And once the bacteria is dead, it strengthens the enamel and it slows down any decaying process. And that's the reason why it looked like Dr. Ali Quinn didn't do his job. He did. I was eating my food the other day and I just felt a random crunch between my teeth because the filling, some of the filling from the front one, the second one, it fell out. So there is a gaping hole at the back. But God didn't make it fall out at the front. And that's what it looked like. Ali didn't do his job. He did. Don't kill him, okay? He did. So now I've been prescribed garlic, crushed garlic in the cavity for like 1 to 3 minutes as needed. And then once that levels out, I use the crushed garlic for 1 to 3 minutes, probably 2 or 3 times per day. And that should stop the decaying process or slow it down significantly. Because it's been a year since Ali sabotaged this tooth. So you're supposed to be able to see the damage from the front. But God, being a just God, being a fair God, God gave you your wish and God gave me my wish. Because I don't want y'all to be destroying my teeth. But y'all want to destroy my teeth. Because you're jealous. Yeah, 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 your teeth don't look like this. Yeah. And it's all natural. There are no veneers here. No veneers here. It's all mine. Hee hee. Ha ha ha. Who? Well, whatever is left. It's all mine. Okay. So let's see. What does God want to say to its people today? Speak, Most High God. Use me as your vessel. Most High God, please block anybody trying to interfere with these readings. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Block anybody trying to mess with this video too. Please and thank you. She's hot. She's blazing. Everybody wants her name, and y'all are just jelly. I'm too pretty. And that makes y'all jelly. You're jelly. If y'all weren't so dark and mean and nasty on the inside, y'all would have a pretty outside too. Your ugly outside is a reflection of your disgusting inside. So if you hate the way you look on the outside, change the way you look on the inside. Moo moo. Y'all are lucky I don't do these readings standing up. Y'all think I'm too much now sitting down. This is actually very restrictive. If I was up, I'd be doing high kicks and shit. Sometimes that's how I feel, you know. Oopsie daisy. So Most High, Most High, what do you want to say to us today? Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. Me, I don't have a big butt. This is my lazy butt. This isn't my exercised butt. I think I have enough butt. You know, I have a nice butt. Especially, don't big butts get in the way when you're getting a back shot. I think that the bigger the butt, the harder it is to do a back shot. Or the woman have to be flexible enough. I'm gonna behave myself. I'm not gonna share that side of myself with y'all in this video. Because you have to be able to go down and kind of arch her back way up to allow straight access, you know. You can't be fat and lazy. You can't be fat and stiff. You gotta be flexible. But I like my size. I like my small boobs. I like my small butt. Actually, my butt isn't small. It's because I haven't been exercising. I have a little badonk. Yeah. I don't have a lot of badonk, but I don't want a lot of anything. I would hate to have big boobs. Oh my God. That's like it's like, I don't know. I feel like big boobs are a curse. Big boobs and big butts are a curse. They just don't tell y'all that they're a curse because they want this beautiful image to remain on them because, you know, people are admired for their big butts and their big boobs. But big boobs are heavy. They're restrictive. Big butts, they're heavy too. How do you sit on a toilet? What's your experience on the toilet like when you have a giant booty? You see, that's the part that nobody talks about. So y'all could parade around like your big breasts and your big butts are such a heavenly sent gift. The reality is very different. I know. Anywho, so we got that deck. Anything else, my good sir and madam, father, mother, God, father God and mother God? Yo, we need to acknowledge the feminine aspect of the divine. Okay, we need to make it a habit. We need to make it standard again to acknowledge the feminine aspect of the creator God, the creator. Okay, because if we are masculine and feminine by nature, then that means God is also masculine and feminine by nature. So where necessary, we should acknowledge the her in Godship, the she, the female, the feminine, the receiver, the empress, the queen, the princess in Godship, Godhood. Okay? Let the church, let the mosque acknowledge the God. Let the temple acknowledge the feminine God aspect. Because we only been working with half of the puzzle up until now. I would imagine that is a kind of self-defeating way to see the world. Maybe that's why we have such a lack of respect and consideration for the feminine, for females, for women. Because we don't even acknowledge the she god, God the she. Yeah, we always say he. We always refer to God as a he. But sometimes it's the she that's responsible for whatever is happening in creation. Especially when you see a sexy woman, you think it's a he mentality that created that? No, it is the she. When you see them women who look like real life superheroes, it's not the he, it is the she who loved herself, who teaches other she's to love themselves and take care of themselves. It's Mother God. Okay? It's Mother God. Every female that loves themselves, every female that's in their feminine energy, it's Mother God that guides them. Keep that in mind. Acknowledge her. Thank her. Yeah, the goddess of goddesses. Number one, the head goddess. We acknowledge you and we praise you, Most High. Yeah. So yeah, we got that one, that one. Okay, and this one, and I'm feeling one more, one more, one more, one more. So what y'all think God want to talk about today before I even start? Or y'all think God gonna talk about today? I don't have a clue. Okay, you think it's something that's gonna make Babylon upset? What y'all think? Y'all think God want to talk about something that's gonna piss Babylon off today, or is the message gonna be more about we the people that have nothing to do with Babylon and their, well, not directly anyway, cause for every bad thing that's going on in our life, Babylon is indirectly connected to it, because the way that they set the philosophical standards of society, it affects us and it creates us, so if the philosophy of our society is wrong, it gets into our brain, because it gets into our mother and our father and our cousin and our sister and our auntie and our brother and our uncle and our everybody. It gets into them and then eventually it gets into us. So Babylon is responsible indirectly for our our let's see, our misfortune. Okay, it's not all on us. We were deceived, we were misguided deliberately and all of that. So yeah, I guess there's no reading that I could do that won't make them upset, because I'm here to undo all the spells. I'm here to cast down all the spells and all the illusions. So I guess every reading I do is going to make Babylon get upset. I don't know, y'all. They just might try to block my channel altogether. They're like, don't make this bitch get on here at all. Okay, just shut the whole shit down. But that'll be okay. It'll be okay by me, because I've come and I've conquered. the only ones who the only ones who would suffer from me not being here anymore is those who weren't at the party when the party was going on, man. They missed a lot. We've had great times on this channel. Very interesting times indeed. Alrighty. So I think we're ready to get into it. Where's my lotion pot? Lotion pot. Yo, you know what I realize, yeah? I have this philosophy where everything is made up of the God particle, right? So I be talking to stuff. Like, if I can't find my grease, I actually talk to my grease and ask my Vaseline, like, where are you? And would you believe that it shows itself? unless they're trying to play with me. I swear sometimes they be playing with me. So even inanimate objects, there's no such thing. The God particle make this up, and God is alive. So it is alive. And therefore they respond. I swear I talk to the bees, I talk to the ants, I've never talked to a tree before. I don't really go nowhere to talk to a tree. I've hugged a tree. I've complimented a tree, but I've never actually communed with a tree. I talk to I talk to the flies, and I talk to the ants, and I talk to bees, and they listen. Well, most of them listen, and the ones who don't listen, I just squash them because you're rude. Okay? We have to exist here together. So it's either you're going to be friendly or you're going to reincarnate somewhere else since you don't know how to behave around me. I have a contract with God so that I have the right to take them out when I see them, like spiders and stuff like that. I don't know. Have I tried to communicate with spiders? I think I've tried to communicate with spiders, but they're kind of very wayward, aren't they? They don't really, well, when it comes to words, when I communicate with the spiders, the words are not very effective. They respond more to action. So, like, if I'm trying to save one of them, because I don't want to kill every little creepy crawly that come around, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you have a right to be alive too. And I'm not so naive that I don't think that a little spider could save my life. So I'm not gonna go around making enemies of the spider kingdom because shit, somebody might come after me one time and they just crazy scare the spiders, and God make a spider come down and scare them away. They could have arachnophobia, I think they call it, scare fear of spiders, and the spider will come and save my life. A fly could come and save my life. Shit, my Vaseline could save my life because someone could come in, try to hurt me, and they trip over the Vaseline bottle. It's like, how did you even get down there? I don't know. Like, how did my cards get twisted up the last time? I don't know. But God is the greatest magician, so I just accept magic in my life. You know what I'm saying? So if things are wherever they are, where they're not supposed to be, it is what it is. Let's do this, you know? Life is like that for me. So yeah, I've been accepting that we are magical beings, and I've been testing out the theory. So I talk to animals, I talk to the spiders and the flies and the bees that come around. Yeah. I wonder if I could talk to those aphids. I got some aphids on my plants. Can I talk to them? And I don't think they're gonna listen to me, you know. I don't know, they might do. Because they're getting to be too much now. I might have to wipe some of them out. What they call it, a genocide. I have to take out the population. The aphid population that's invading my plants. But yeah, I'm trying to teach myself to not be afraid of the animal kingdom. To be honest, I'm not afraid of the animal kingdom. I think it's because they train us to see them as senseless beings. But really and truly, every animal have sense. They have sense. Even down to the little ants, even down to bacteria have sense. There's an intelligence that work in everything. Animate and inanimate. Well, quote unquote inanimate, because nothing is inanimate. That's what my journey has taught me. Nothing is inanimate. Because if everything is made up of the God particle, then there's no such thing as inanimate. Everything has life and spirit in it. Everything has a spirit. Everything has a soul. I'm still learning, but so far, I'm gonna hold that to be true because I've tested the theory and shit. I talk to my grease when I can't find it. I talk to my tobacco when I can't find it. I talk to my shoes when I can't find them and they show up. I talk to my light when I can't find it. Like shit. They show up most of the time. The spirit that resides in some of these things, they're playful. And if I ever talk to anything and they like have an attitude with me, I dash it. I haven't come across much things in my possession, like a plant. There was a plant I had, because I talk to my plants too. There was I don't talk to trees, but I talk to my plants. They're my friends. I had a plant one time, and it seemed to have an attitude. And there's this prayer that I pray, right? It goes, "Dear Lord, please protect this house, everything and everyone that belong in it from all evil." And you know what happened? There was this plant that well, it was Malika's plant. And it was in water. It used to grow beautifully in water, right? And as of late, since I started saying that prayer, every time we change the water, there's some white film that's on the water that make me have to change it. And the plant kept dying. And it's just water from the pipe. That's what we're used to giving it. And it used to grow long and healthy. And from the time I started saying that prayer, the plant just kept dying. And this white film just kept coming on the water. And eventually I was like, yep, you got to go. Because it's like, why are you dying? And then I clocked, like, I be saying the prayer. Whatever spirit was living inside that plant, it was an enemy. So now, of all the plants, me and Malika, we used to have a lot of plants, right? And of all the plants that we had probably like, I don't know, like between us, we had probably about 20 to 25 plants. And right now, of all those plants, we got 2 plants left. And it's one that belongs to me and one that belongs to her. That's all that's left out of all the plants that we had. It's been an interesting journey. I've been learning a lot about life. We need to respect these things. If I get food, I show appreciation for the food, like welcoming the food in the house and shit. It makes me look crazy, but it works for me because I appreciate the food and I want the food to appreciate me and know that we ought to work well together. You're here to nourish me and I'm here to cook you and make you taste nice. You know, it's a fair arrangement, you know. The foods were created to be eaten. I'm sure they like to be eaten by people who appreciate them. So that when they go into our system and they disperse, they can treat us with the love and the respect that they want to, you know. Am I sounding crazy? I don't know. There's talk about some kind of experiment where they got water, right? And they say love to the water. They got another something of water. They say like hate to the water, and they got another something of water. I don't remember how the experiment go, but the one that was the one that had love written on it, it must have it like if they put it in the freezer, and the one that had love, the one that had hate, they all created their own vibe or something like that. Well, water is definitely alive. Everything is alive. But we wouldn't know because, I mean, if you don't talk to it, it don't talk to you, innit? Have you seen the videos where they go up to the tree and tell the tree to touch them? And the tree actually moves and come close to them. I've never seen it in real life, but I believe it. If you speak to these things with respect, they'll reveal themselves to you. And if you speak to something with respect and it still chooses to disregard and disrespect you, you know what type of spirit that is. All right, let's see what else God want to share with us today. I wouldn't say go around and command nature. Speak, respectfully to nature. There are times when we need to be commanding, but most of the times we need to respect nature's boundaries. Just like we would respect another person. Respect the plants, respect the animals, respect your bottle of lotion, respect your refrigerator, respect your car, respect your comb, respect your curling iron, respect your weave, respect your nails, respect the eyelashes, respect the eyelash glue, respect your wallet. You'll be surprised how it works with you. Respect your bank account. Like it's an entity all by itself. Try it. Don't let nobody know you're trying it. You don't have to talk out loud, because sometimes I'm talking to these animals. I don't talk out loud. I say it in my mind and they listen. I talk to them in my mind and they listen. They hear me and respond. They respect my boundaries. That's why you know the story of Cinderella, when all the birds came in and made Cinderella's dress and all these things. That's how the birds and everything could have transformed like that for Cinderella, is because Cinderella was so kind-hearted that nature responded to her like that. She didn't have any friends, so she became friends with the birds and the rats and whatever other animals were in that movie. The horse. The pumpkin. Is it a fairy tale, or were they trying to tell us something? Do you believe in magic? Alrighty, let's get into this message. So if you come around me and you see me talking to the animals, just be like, oh yeah, she said she do that. You need to try it. But speak kindly to them. Don't speak to them as if you're their God and you're their king and God has given humans dominion over. No, that's not the right way. Okay? That's an act of war. That's disrespectful. Okay. All right. So we got soulmate and we got religious factors. So soulmate said, yes, this is your soulmate. And the religious factors card says, your life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I was about to finish shuffling, but God had something to say on speaking to the animals. They are our mates. And our relationship with these animals is influenced by our upbringing and our spiritual path. So our upbringing would be what the world taught us, and our spiritual path will be what we discovered ourselves by paying attention. Even the fluff has its own life. Everything has its own life. Everything. I don't mean you're supposed to go bonkers because you know that. You can still wipe your fucking counters and your surfaces and stuff like that. Okay? Everything that's made to be whatever it's made to be is made to be dealt with the way that it's meant to be dealt with. Because I used to hear some vegetarians or meat eaters, meat eaters, when they were having the meat eating versus vegetarian debate, is like the meat eaters would tell the vegetarians, well, the vegetables they feel too, and you kill vegetables to eat vegetables, but thing is, they were made to be eaten. It's like some people were born to be soldiers, some people were born to be doctors. You if you put a doctor, a soul that's made to be a doctor on the battlefield, they're gonna feel out of place because that's not where they belong. But if you put a soldier on the battlefield, he feels or she feels right at home. They love that shit. So vegetables are made to be eaten. Meat is also made to be eaten. And we should be praying over anything before we eat it or before we kill it. That's why there's that thing that's called halal. I think that's where they pray before they slaughter the animals. That's the humane way to do it, so that God can create the right energy for the meat, so that when we eat it, it's good energy in that meat, rather than putting the animals in a situation where they're traumatized, and that shit stays in the meat. It will stay in the meat. If you create an atmosphere where the meat is traumatized, it stays in the meat. And if you create an atmosphere where the meat where the animal is relaxed, it's like a sacrifice. It's just like a police are beings of sacrifice. They put their life on the line for others every day. The animals, they were created to be food for people as well as other things. But being food for people is one of the ways. It's just the overconsumption or being disrespectful or disregarding of that life. That's a crime. But if you terminate that life, even the life of a mango, if you terminate the life of a mango, the spirit that reside in the mango or the spirit that reside in the cow or the goat or whatever, it gets to go to its next phase. So some of them will be getting an upgrade, some of them will be getting a downgrade, but life goes on. So it's not that you're killing the soul of that thing unless you do it in an inhumane way. Then you're damaging the soul of that being, including the mango. So if you terminate the life of that being with God guiding you and blessing it, then you're good to go. Whatever is the next journey for that being, it's that being's journey, because according to its relationship with God and the universe, the way that it behaved in this life, or maybe the way that it behaved in their in the last life, that has nothing to do with us. But we are all here to serve. That's why sometimes humans go in the jungle and get eaten by lions. Hey, it's the circle of life. But that human that got ate by that lion, where did the soul go after? So it may have been, maybe it wasn't even, we would see it as a crazy death, but maybe they didn't feel that way. Maybe they knew that this is how they were supposed to live. Maybe they got a flash or a dream or something and they just submitted to it. Who knows? But where did the soul go after death by lion? That person could have been manifested as shit, the next president, but it couldn't be the next president in whatever body it was in. It maybe had to get some different parents and be on a different life path to be able to get to whatever next mission life has for that person. Yeah, so God is saying, yes, everything is our soulmate, bruv. Respect your knives, respect your guns as if they're entities all of their own, or else they could turn on you. Just like you get a dog, the dog could turn on you if you don't treat the dog right. Your snake could turn on you if you don't treat your pet snake right. Your food can turn on you if you're not treating your food in your mouth right. Have you ever been eating some food and you're thinking some bad shit and you yeah. What caused that? Who caused that? Everything has the God particle in it, right? So God has control over everything. Everything serves God, whether it wants to, whether it recognizes that or not. God is the ultimate ruler of everything, always. Anyway, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, shit. If you can't find your keys, say hello keys. Where are you? Yeah, like please show yourself and see what happens. You don't have to ask nobody. Ask your keys to show themselves. If you can't find your slipper, call your slipper. And trust the vibe, bruv. Try it. I was at the bottom of the deck. So we got express your love. Exactly. We need to speak to these things with respect. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So remember I was talking about how I talk to trees and I talk to animals and I talk to my Vaseline and I talk to anything that I can't find when I remember that I'm magical. I talk to it. And God is basically justifying what I'm saying and proving that, yeah, I'm not wrong. They are our soulmates, and our relationship with them is determined by what we believe. Everything is our soulmate. Soulmate. There's a soul inside of everything, everywhere. Even a speck of dust. There's a soul inside there. And then the underlying issue is express your love. If we speak to these things with love, we'll be surprised what would happen. Playfulness. Yeah, man, try it out. Try it out. It says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Yes, you're an adult. You're not going to look stupid for doing it. And like I said, you don't have to speak out loud. You can speak in your mind. Because remember, we are all connected. Telepathically, there is a connection between everyone and everything. Telepathically, and there's some kind of invisible connection between everyone and everything. I believe that that's the God particle, the makeup of everything. So imagine that one thing called the God particle, it multiplied and morphed into all the things that we see, all the people that we see, all the animals that we see. That one thing. Tell me that's not magical. Out of one come many. Out of many, there is only one. There's only God. I wouldn't suggest that you go play with magic now. You have to be responsible. But get to know yourself and get to know your environment. Try talking to the next creepy crawly that tried to come near you. Ask it nicely. Even if you're scared of it, tell it nicely. I'm very uncomfortable around you, and I'd appreciate it if you not come any closer. And if it disrespects you, then you can, it's communication, like just tap the spot where they come in or something. But a lot of them, they listen to me anyway. I only have to talk and they listen. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Do you see that? We have to speak to them with respect. Okay? You don't want to push no war vibes. Yeah. I see what's at the bottom of the deck. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So, codependency. We belong here and they too belong here. It's like if you go to the park, you're in their territory. If you go into the sea, you're in the sea creature's territory. If you go into the mountain, you're in the mountain people, you're in the mountain creature's territory. You don't have more rights to be there than them. You don't have the right to just sit down anywhere on anything, any old how. I'm telling you, we approaching life in a very careless manner. Before you go into a forest, you should actually ask for guidance. You, just as you don't want to be offended by these creepy crawlies, you should not want to offend them. Because if if a snake come in your house, do you know how territorial you'll be? But if you go into the jungle and you invade a snake's space, they have the right to be that territorial. So what you don't want for yourself, try not to put it out into the world. They didn't teach us this. This should be base knowledge. This should come as standard. Well, we live and we learn. Because I wasn't this smart always. I had to learn these things. There's nobody to teach me. I just had a desire to be left alone by creepy crawlies because I don't want to kill them. It's like, how am I going to get you to leave me alone? So I tried one day. I just asked. And it worked. And so I keep trying. So now I've told you, even if it don't work, at least you know, well, if you believe my story, you'll know it can work. So just keep trying. Some of them are disrespectful, just like human beings. Some of them will disregard you, just like human beings. But if you don't want to kill it, make violence be your last answer. Communicate with it first. There are different ways of communication. They'll leave you alone and they'll go their own way. And before you go into the sea, before you go into the forest, before you go into the park to sit down and stuff like that, it's good to ask the Most High to guide you as to where is your spot up in here, so that you're not trampling on any creature's house. I know it sounds silly because they didn't teach us to be like that, but when you respect life, when you actually take the time to respect life, to respect nature to that degree, it says a lot about you. And therefore, a lot of doors that wouldn't open to people who don't think or behave like that, they would open for you. And people wonder, why am I so blessed? Why am I so fortunate? It's because y'all call me crazy. But God don't see it that way. Y'all see me as crazy for the things that I do and the things that I say. but I call me learned. I've tried these things that I'm telling you. I'm not just going to say random shit. That don't make no sense. But I've been studying life and I'm sharing with you what I've learned. Yeah, because they have a right to be and we have a right to be as well. So we need to bring harmony between us. Okay? God love all of us. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So are you going to start to try talk to these creatures, talk to your fellow creature? Because they see us as creatures too, you know. We look at the lions and we look at the centipedes and we look at the snakes and we look at the sea creatures as foreign creatures. Shit, we are foreign creatures to them. When they see us, they're like, what the hell is that? They're like, we've never seen one like that before. We've never seen one like that around here before. Just imagine. Some of them might even get scared, like, cause if we see a random lion just walking, shit, most of us gonna be freaked the fuck out. If you live in an environment where you normally see lions, then it will be no problem. But if it's not a regular sighting, then shit, you gonna be freaked out. That's where you need to pray to the divine this time. Like, Commander in Chief, what is this? Help! Magical Kingdom. Oh, we got more mail. Okay, so we got passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I'm getting with this passion is like shit, being scared. Okay? And then we got children because we don't know enough about these things. We're at a childlike mind. Our relationship with these things is being affected by our childlike mind. Then we got new love. So this is us growing up and understanding and respecting nature. It says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, but it's like shit, a new understanding of your surroundings has stirred your romantic feelings. Then it said forgiving and learning. So when you look back at all the times that you've disrespected a spider's spot or an ant's nest spot, or if you're a jungle person, you disrespect the entrance to some snake's little lair, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're out of your territory. You're a fisherman and you're out in the sea and you're invading some shark's territory or some because they live there. You don't live there. You're a guest. God says you went about it wrong, but now that I'm sharing my crazy story with you, you might be able to you should try to approach the situation differently so that the central GPS can navigate you, you know, so that you don't offend your fellow creatures. Mm-hmm. It says, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So it's like you didn't know then, now you know. Or at least you're gonna look into it. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Because the same way that the animals in these various places can hurt you, they can actually protect you too. Because they know who you are because of how you deal with them. So you might be a fisherman and you go fishing and you're one who respect the waters, you respect the fishes, you know, you pray before you go in, you ask for guidance and God guides you. Shit, if something happened to you, a whole dolphin or something could come and pick you up and bring you back up to the surface where you can actually breathe and help to heal you and shit like that. But these things don't happen for us because we've been trained to see every creature. We've been trained to see every creature as stupid and senseless when these things, they look after their children, they mate, they eat, they hunt. How come they got enough sense to hunt and eat and care for their children and look for partners and seduce partners? And that's very lifelike, that's very human like, that's very much like how we live. But yet still we see them as senseless outside of that. That don't make no sense. That's why when we see the TikTok videos with fucking uh foxes helping chickens to cross the water, we're like, what? How? And they always train us to believe that all these things are against each other. Like there's no friendship in the jungle type thing. You know? Yes, there is. We need to stop seeing the world like that because it's very destructive to us. We're sabotaging our own existence by seeing these creatures as stupid or senseless. We're sabotaging our own existence by seeing these creatures as senseless. It's not healthy. I think that's what God wanted to talk about today. Okay. Well, in this one anyway. So, respect your fellow animal. And they will respect you. Wow. Okay. What we got? Okay. Okay. So we got the passion card come out again. Romantic feelings and separation. So you know that way that we feel, like that strong feeling that we feel when a creepy crawly is coming next to us. Like if we're scared of spiders, or we're scared of chicken, maybe we're scared of horses, maybe we're scared of lions, maybe we're scared of centipedes, maybe we're scared of ants, maybe we're scared of poisonous snakes, maybe we're scared of stingrays or sharks or whales or barracudas, whatever it is that we're scared of. God says that feeling, we shouldn't hold on to it. We should let it go. Romantic feelings and separation. So we feel like we're right for feeling these, but it's basically we're judging the animal and thinking that it's an animal of evil just because it's that animal. That's the way they've trained us to think and see the world. So as soon as we see one, we start to run, or we want to kill it, when the thing is just trying to live its life just like we are. That's what I mean. When I can save these creatures and just put them outside, I tried to catch them and put them outside. I'm gonna have to design like a dish or something that I could really capture them in or something like that. It's a bother, but if you can be bothered to do it, you'll be blessed for it, because nature will remember you being kind to one of its own. So when y'all see me getting blessed, just know that this is the type of shit that I be doing behind the scenes, okay? So God says, however we be feeling about these animals being all scared or thinking that they're here to eat us, God says, stop thinking like that. Not all of them. You know when they come with bad intentions and bad energy. You can feel it. But also, they can feel you when you come with your bad energy and your bad intentions. They could feel you. So it's like, why are you scared? Because I be thinking that way to the plant, to the animals as well. Because I can feel when they got like some negative energy coming from them. It's like, why you feel like that? What are you trying to say to me with that energy? I can feel it. And it's like, I don't like that energy. I'm gonna take you out. And if God want me to take them out, I'll be able to. If God don't want me to be able to take them out, God will make them get away. So when we go into the animals' personal spaces and they feel our vibe, and we're coming with all this fear, and we're coming with all this negative vibe in our mind and in our heart and in our soul, the animals looking at us thinking like, fuck you up to. Then they get defensive. It's like, what, you want some of this? Yeah. The underlying issue is attraction. God said, let it go. Yeah, man. God said, don't, those negative vibes, let it go, because shit, we family. Attraction. It says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So it's like, you know them videos when you see people encountering a dolphin for the first time, and it's like, shit, they scared. Who wouldn't be? But it's like, it's a mind thing. You have to calm. Then it becomes a beautiful experience. That's how we get all those TikTok videos with some amazing encounters with the animal kingdom from people, between the animal kingdom and people. And also we see those amazing videos between different species from the animal kingdom, and it's like you would never expect these two animals to coexist, and yet still here's the evidence before all the AI shit. And of course, because now we can get confused with the AI video, some of it is real, some of it is real camaraderie and friendship between different species of the animal kingdom. But it takes a certain soul. It takes us culturing our mind and our soul to calm down. Be peace. Don't be afraid. Shit. It's easier said than done. But we gotta try. Okay. So I think that's what God want to talk about. A whole hour. That's definitely what God want to talk about this time around. But that was interesting. It felt like a deep dive. So yeah, we're gonna end this one right here for today. And I'm gonna go do whatever I have to do in my house, and hope I don't see any creepy Clive. Okay. And then I don't know, I might come back this afternoon and do whatever God wanna tell us from the second deck. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this one, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that y'all learned something, and I hope you're gonna try, because they're our brothers and sisters. They look different. They're our brothers and sisters from other mothers and fathers. The animal kingdom, shit, the bacteria kingdom, the virus kingdom. They're all our siblings, bro. Imagine being able to talk to a virus and getting it to leave you alone. Imagine being able to talk to a virus and getting it to be kind to you. Imagine being able to talk to bacteria and getting them to listen to you. If you're sick right now with anything, try being respectful to that thing. I'm not saying accepting, but talk to it. If it's hurting you, talk to it. Maybe you've been, and God sent it in as an agent to humble you. But if you're not guilty, you have the right to talk to these things. And I believe that miraculous things will happen. Sound crazy, innit? Everything sounded crazy the first time other people heard it. Shit, the light bulb sounded like a crazy idea. The telephone sounded like a crazy idea. Wi-Fi sounded like a crazy idea. Shit, flying airplane sounded like a crazy idea. Cars sounded like a crazy idea. When are we gonna catch on? Stop declaring things crazy without solid. Stop the self-defeatism. It's like you give up before you even try, or you accept defeat before you even try. We are students here. We are students here before we become teachers. A lot of us are sitting in the teacher's seat and we don't really know anything. And we try to convince other people that other people are crazy because you don't understand that person. You try to discourage other people from understanding them as well. We need to grow up. That's a class in its own too. That's a class of behavioral science. Life itself is our school, everyone. Okay? Just as much as we study outside, we should study inside of ourselves as well. The thing about us in this life is we take so many classes that we don't even realize, whether we want to or not. How much we get out of these experiences, these classes, is determined by how focused we are. Because we can learn lessons that we didn't even pay attention to. It just hit us so hard that you didn't miss that one. You can't miss that one. But when you're really paying attention to life, you will pick up so much more. Because we're missing a lot. We miss a lot by not paying attention, you know? And that don't mean that we're going to drain the fun out of life, okay? Always make time to have fun before the shit gets boring. You don't want to live like that. But there's a time to pay attention. There's a time to be serious about life. There's a time to ponder. There's a time to wonder and a time to experiment. Tap into those times as well. And when you're done, go have a nice fat one. And whatever you do, you know, take a chill break. Because if you were in class, you get break time in class, you get lunch time in class. Class ends at a certain time per day. So you can apply certain things like that to your life, although you have the power to shift it around. But take some time to have fun. Shit. There's a time for holiday as well. And some of these classes is like we can refuse to even study them. Some of them they're gonna keep coming anyway, but shit. If you can afford to and you don't want to give it your all, like focus wise, then brush over it and keep going. You know what I'm saying? But life is our school, whether we like it or not. We're all students. Some of us have been through so much of whatever subject that we're now teachers. But at the end of the day, we're all students because there's always something to learn. So approach life in that situation, in that way, and your future self will be happy that you did, you know. So okay, this time I'm going. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Until next time, my lovelies. Ta-ta. Let's see if YouTube is actually going to stop the live today. Let's see how long they're going to take from now.